Gaming CEOs, they love to share their bold ideas for the future of gaming. Every E3, they take to the stage and describe the ways in which they want to evolve gaming. Now, the CEO of EA has come out with some new ideas, and they're about as apocalyptic as you'd expect.
A little while ago, EA CEO Andrew Wilson told Glixel about the future he has envisioned for gaming. Wilson said EA's gaming strategy for the future is to release fewer games, but to keep players playing those games for much longer, by 10 times as many people. According to Wilson, this is because games are starting to fulfill the needs of audiences more and more, which keeps them loyal to a single game. His point being that games are starting to fulfill the social desires of people, like making friends in online games, so players want to return over and over to that same game to pull new experiences from it. He then goes on to say EA envisions a future where games will actually be personalised to a player's taste based on real life. Simply put, he wants to see a world where your real life impacts the games as you play and vice versa. One example Wilson mentions is that EA sees a world where the things you have in your real life fridge governs what the Sims are fed in your game.
The whole idea of playing video games is that you can escape reality, not go into a Sims game and see what's in your actual fridge. And I mean, I don't get...
drag it into a game with you.
Who does that appeal to? I mean, it's not me. The fact the way he generalises and says that people are spending more games online, so building communities and that kind of stuff. Yes, some gamers are. Not everyone. Not everyone wants that kind of shit. Not everyone wants to watch an episode of Black Mirror and feel like they're involved in it because they're playing a game. I don't get this. Like it's just it's wacky. It's kooky. It's like this is the CEO of EA saying this bullshit.
What he's saying is like the ultimate, the pinnacle of where sadly things are kind of going. Games as a service, microtransactions, so they can monetize those games for a long time afterwards, keeping you playing one game for longer, personalizing things using your own real life. It's like, you know, internet cookies, like all your emails that are coming to your inbox and stuff, all that spam, all the things that Amazon recommends is based on what you've done before, personalizing the whole internet for you. This is kind of where all those things start to meet up, right? He's like frothing at the mouth for this. He's like, yes, I want people to be hooked on my one version of Battlefield, and that's all they're playing, and you know, we'll just give them whatever they want in that one game, you know. The
example he used was Spotify, whereas in the music industry, the personalizing your playlists without you even like doing anything, that does it all behind the scenes, and he wants the games to act in that way too. Like who the I mean, I don't get it. It's like why he's copy and pasting that formula that's working in one industry and thinking that would apply to games and gamers, and why people would want that. I don't want a game reacting to what's in my life and to all the decisions that I've made. I just want a decent game. You know what I mean?
I'm all for progress. I'm all for things moving forward, like multiplayer gaming. I'm so happy that has become a thing. I'm so happy that Xbox Live came along and it made console multiplayer gaming a thing, because I've had loads of great memories and great experiences playing console multiplayer. That's a huge step forward. That's a huge evolution we don't even think about anymore because it's just part of the gaming. You know, I'm happy with that. I'm fine with that. What I don't like is like this apocalyptic vision from a CEO who's saying this is how it will be and we're going to make it happen.
He might have some good ideas in there somewhere, but the way he's talking is like a f***ing madman.
Is there anything more depressing than like your fridge dictating your game? Like your Sims aren't happy.
Well, my Sims are starving as well, are they?
Sims, it's like the future microtransactions. Your Sims will be happy if you buy strawberries, and even if you don't like strawberries, you'll buy them. That's the future of microtransactions.
Yeah, and the games companies are in like cahoots with like food manufacturers there.
EA
There's like
strawberries. That's what I mean.
EA and strawberries getting together and making a mint. Morrison.
I feel so like, wake up, people! It's happening.
Tinfoil hat on now, like oh. Wilson assures that EA will still make conventional games that you download and play on a monitor or TV, but he wants these games to be adaptable based on whoever is playing them. He describes a situation where you would have the base game with an engine, but it would be powered by a neural network. What the f...
Just let's keep going, there's more.
When given data based on real events, the network would pump out a scenario which would be experienced in-game. Reminder, this is the actual idea of the CEO of EA. The example he gives is, what if you had Battlefield, but instead of content made by designers, it was made by a neural network, which had all the knowledge of every war story written. That sounds so scary. Does it not?
Maybe in like 30 years or something like that. This will be more of reality. It'll be more like we can line up with it. Our frames of reference for gaming will be closer to this, and we'll be able to like process it and stuff. But this guy is
maybe he's a visionary, and we're just not seeing what he's seeing.
Maybe he is, right? And
maybe we're the one wrong here.
This is so important, right? Is this interesting to you? Is this exciting to you? Please explain why in the comments.
I think the problem is that this guy thinks it's excited enough about all this shit, not only to think it, but to say it out in public as well. And that's the problem.
In an interview.
Yeah, some people might be crazy enough to think it and think, yeah, that's great, but have the nous to think that everyone else is going to think I'm crazy. But this guy has got none of that. Like he goes out there and thinks that everyone else is going to think the same as him and get excited about the games for it. I'm at a loss. I don't know what to say.
Even Peter Molyneux looks normal compared to him. Do you know what I mean?
I won't go that far.
So his idea is for every time you logged in to play Battlefield, the game would present you with a custom tailored scenario based on your personal tastes.
Now, we've spent a lot of time talking about how mental this guy is, but EA actually already do something kind of like this with FIFA Ultimate Team. Ultimate Team uses data from real footballers and matches, which influences their stats in the game, and EA want to replicate this model in some of their other games as well. If you think all this sounds like a pipe dream, Wilson says that EA have research and development teams working on tech like this as we speak. He actually believes that this will happen in the next 5 years of the gaming industry. So if EA are to be believed, then within the next 5 years, games will be powered by AI, which build games on the fly with experiences personalized on a per player basis. While all this could potentially be very cool, it's also terrifying. But whatever it is, 5 years is probably a bit ambitious for games to reach this level of sophistication.
Skynet confirmed, am I right?
It's so Skynet, isn't it? It's like learning from the users intimately exactly what they want, exactly the experiences they want, and then giving it to them like real time, on the fly, like whatever they fancy doing at that exact moment, they'll give it to you. That is like the death of the medium for me. Like, you know, would you stick through a story like The Witcher 3, like all the way through to the end, if you were continuously thinking, I kind of don't fancy doing that anymore, I want to be I want to be a space pilot, and it just changes like on the fly. It's just taking you out of that rigid, like, this is an experience that from start to finish, it's got a story, it's got a narrative, it's got characters that you can get to know and everything. This guy he's looking at it obviously from some kind of multiplayer lens, where it's like, it's different scenarios, different skins, different situations to throw you into. Because how the hell could you dynamically come up with a story like The Witcher 3 and just chuck, So it's obviously limited what he's talking about here, but 5 years?
It's not happening in 5 years, even if he thinks it's a good idea and he puts all his energies into it. It's not going to be good in 5 years, whatever he comes up with in 5 years. I mean, you think of a development cycle for a regular game, it might even be 5 years for a regular game. Now he's thinking of implementing all this new tech and AI and all that shit in this normal process of developing like just a normal AAA game. It's not happening.
Yeah. One thing that's interesting before we sign off, I must point out, if this was CD Projekt Red, seeing as I've been talking about Witcher, I probably wouldn't be half as scared, quarter as scared. I'd probably be thinking, cool, I wonder what they're going to get out of this, But with EA, it's a totally different story.
You're going to get them fanboys comments now, aren't you, Mike? Those people saying that you're a CD Projekt Red fanboy.
Oh, right.
Do you deny it?
No.
Okay, guys, do you think this is a good idea? Do you think that it's reasonable to think that this is doable in 5 years? Do you even want it, don't you? Let us know down in the comments below. Like the video if you've enjoyed it. Subscribe if you're new around here. Some more content on your screen right about here if you want to check out another one of our videos. You can support us on Patreon in this link right about here. And we'll see you again in the next video. Until then, bye for now.